We know what it's like when our computer suddenly fails to work. How much worse when a local or even a large-scale network stops working, for whatever reason. Failures of these infrastructures could cascade and spread beyond national borders. Experience shows that neither a single provider nor a single country could effectively detect, prevent, and effectively respond to such threats.
ENISA, the European Network and Information Security Agency, runs a major program on the resilience. It's our main objective to improve the security and the resilience of the services on the internet, that people trusted it and that we have successful business cases.
The program took stock and analysed all member states' policy and regulatory environments. It developed unique insights and issued a number of important recommendations for key decision and policy makers of member states, competent authorities and providers.
The main recommendations of the program include national contingency plans for member states, the appropriate comprehensive cybersecurity strategies, incident reporting schemes, trusted information sharing mechanisms, national and pan-European exercises, and the establishment of computer security emergency response teams.
The European Commission's Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Action Plan, the EU Regulatory Framework Directive, and the Digital Agenda all called for ENISA's strategic and technical advice on a number of related issues.
ENISA facilitated and organized together with member states the first pan-European exercise. The objectives of this exercise were to build trust among member states, to increase the understanding of how cyber incidents are handled, and test communication procedures between member states.
ENISA also provides strategic technical advice on the establishment and management of the European Public-Private Partnership for Resilience. The agency, building on its findings and recommendations, engages member states, the private sector, and other relevant players in the European Forum for Member States and facilitates dialogue amongst them.
ENISA performed an extensive stock-taking of member states' activities and developed a guideline on incident reporting mechanism. ENISA, in collaboration with member states and the private sector, defined the reporting scheme to ENISA, prepare guidelines and best practices on minimum security and resilience measures, and develop a framework for data collection and analysis.
The program also developed several good practice guides. These were developed after extensive stock-takings, interviews with relevant experts, analysis and validation with experts through workshops. Examples include how to set up and manage national information sharing exchanges, a guide to the effectiveness of policies and controls which should lead to measures and indicators used to calculate network resiliency, good practice for disinfecting and defending infrastructures against botnet attacks, a guide to deploying domain name system security extensions, a study on interconnected networks to propose future actions, recommendations and incentives, a study on future standardization activities and R&D priorities.
Improving the security and resilience of public communication networks in Europe remains a strategic objective for ENISA. The Resilience CIP program of ENISA will continue its efforts to support the EU member states towards this direction and will deliver strategic recommendations to all relevant public and private stakeholders.